There is a new star in India's electric car galaxy. Tata Motors has launched the Tiago EV, another addition in its lineup, with an introductory price starting 8.49 lakhs.
The Vietnamese brand VinFast is bringing its all-electric crossover, the VF6, to India pretty soon. It will be rivaling the likes of the Tata Curve EV.
Electric cars aren't just the future, they're happening now. Tesla and Elon Musk have led the way, showing the world that EVs can replace gas-powered vehicles. But something unexpected just happened. India, not known for leading the EV race, has shocked everyone. A company there has launched an electric car for just $4,999, about 4 lakh rupees. Experts are stunned. Automakers are nervous. How is this even possible? What's the secret behind this shocker from India?
Customers are shelling out more for e-scooters from today. Prices of electric scooters have risen by a huge 15 to 32,000 rupees, with government trimming its subsidies.
Join us as we look into India's new $4,999 car that will shake the entire EV industry. India builds the cheapest electric vehicle. Until now, it was assumed that the next major breakthrough in EV technology would come from countries like the United States, Japan, or Germany. But this new Indian launch is forcing the global EV industry to reconsider its expectations. It has shown that meaningful innovation can also come from countries with limited resources. The arrival of such a low-cost EV raises serious questions for existing automakers. How did India make this possible? What features does this car offer at such a price point? And can it actually compete with established EV makers like Tesla or BYD? Stay tuned, the most interesting part is still ahead. Before discussing this new vehicle in detail, it's important to look at where India currently stands in the EV sector. This car is not just a product launch, it is part of a wider transformation in India's mobility landscape. A few years ago, India was not seen as a major player in the EV world. Global manufacturers viewed India as a consumer market, not as an innovation hub. But the situation has changed significantly. India is now one of the fastest-growing EV markets in the world. In 2023, India sold approximately 1.5 million electric vehicles. This includes not just 2- and 3-wheelers, but also a rapidly growing number of 4-wheelers. The demand is spreading beyond large cities and reaching smaller towns and even rural areas. EV adoption in India is no longer limited to early adopters or luxury buyers. It has started to become mainstream. This is backed by strong government support. Programs like FAME2 offer incentives to both manufacturers and buyers. Electric vehicles enjoy tax exemptions and reduced road taxes in many states. A national battery swapping policy is in place. Investment in charging infrastructure has also increased. These policies are pushing both local and global companies to take India seriously. International manufacturers like Volkswagen, Hyundai, BYD, and even Tesla are either setting up plants or planning entry into the Indian market. However, Indian companies are not standing still. Domestic manufacturers are making significant progress in both product development and market capture. Tata Motors, for instance, has become a major EV player within the country. The Nexon EV and Tiago EV are among the most popular models and are known for reliability and affordability. Ola Electric has also made a strong impact with its electric scooters. It has scaled up production rapidly and invested heavily in research and development. Another example is Ather Energy, which is working on smart scooters and battery solutions. Indian companies are now exporting to foreign markets and are being taken seriously as global competitors. They are focused on making EVs suitable for the mass market. This means balancing cost, range, performance, and practicality. Indian innovation is not centered on luxury, it is focused on access. On the technology side, India is exploring several new solutions. Solid-state batteries are being developed to increase safety and energy density. Battery swapping networks are being tested in both urban and semi-urban areas. Companies are also working on low-cost solar charging solutions and lightweight vehicle materials. These innovations are aimed at reducing production costs without compromising basic quality. Indian engineers are focusing on how to increase range, reduce charge times, and make the vehicles easier to maintain. The priority is to make EVs suitable for crowded roads, variable weather, and low-income buyers. This is different from the approach taken in many Western countries. In places like the US and Europe, EVs are still often positioned as luxury items. Even budget models in those markets remain relatively expensive for the average buyer. In contrast, India is showing that electric mobility can be affordable from the start. And now, with the launch of a $4,900 EV, that point has been made even clearer. This isn't just a cost reduction, it's a shift in strategy. It shows that sustainability can be scaled for everyday use and doesn't have to be limited to premium buyers. India's growth in the EV space is being watched closely by global industry leaders. Some companies are already rethinking their strategies because of India's example. Tesla's interest in entering India is part of this trend. European and Chinese manufacturers are also adjusting their price models and looking for new partnerships. India's production ecosystem, combined with its engineering talent and large domestic market, is creating pressure for international competitors. The new Indian EV that has caught global attention is more than a budget vehicle. It represents a significant milestone in India's industrial evolution. It combines affordability with design suited for local needs. It also signals India's ability to contribute meaningfully to the global push for cleaner transportation. The vehicle uses lightweight materials to reduce energy consumption. It features basic but efficient electric drive systems. It offers decent range and compatibility with low-cost charging solutions. These are all practical engineering choices aimed at real-world usability. The global response to this EV has been strong. Analysts in the auto industry are calling it a possible turning point. Countries in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America are looking at similar mobility challenges: low income levels, expensive fuel, and high urban density. A low-cost EV model from India could fit their needs as well. This gives the Indian car not just local but global potential. For manufacturers focused on these regions, the competition has already changed. India is no longer just a follower in the EV race. It is setting new benchmarks for affordability, design thinking, and practical innovation. So, what makes up this car? Does it meet global standards despite its price? Let's look into it. What the Vayve Eva offers. The Vayve Eva is built around a lightweight monocoque chassis made from an aluminum fiber composite blend. This structural decision reduces the total curb weight of the vehicle to under 550 kilograms. The use of aluminum ensures resistance to rust and heat, while fiber composite adds structural strength without adding bulk. This combination allows for greater battery efficiency, improving the vehicle's range without requiring a larger power unit. The car is powered by a lithium-ion battery pack, with a nominal capacity of 14.5 kilowatt per hour. This battery is mounted centrally beneath the floor pan to maintain a low center of gravity. It provides an estimated driving range of up to 250 kilometers under normal urban driving conditions. The battery is equipped with a thermal management system that includes passive air cooling. The system is optimized for Indian weather conditions to prevent overheating and to prolong battery life. Vayve Eva's electric motor is a permanent magnet synchronous motor rated at 11 kilowatts, approximately 15 horsepower. The motor is mounted on the front axle, providing front-wheel drive. This configuration improves traction and handling in city driving. The car delivers torque output sufficient to achieve a top speed of 70 km per hour, which aligns with the legal limits in most urban areas in India. The motor controller features regenerative braking capabilities, feeding energy back into the battery during deceleration. One of the car's most innovative elements is the integrated solar panel system installed on the roof. The panels are composed of high-efficiency, monocrystalline photovoltaic cells with a power output of approximately 200 watts. These panels are laminated using ethylene tetrafluoroethylene film, which resists dirt, dust, and UV degradation. The system operates using a microinverter and solar charge controller that regulates the input voltage to the battery. Under optimal sunlight, the panels contribute between 10 and 12 kilometers of additional range per day. The braking system includes front disc brakes and rear drum brakes. The combination is cost-effective and tailored to the car's low weight. The vehicle features an electric parking brake with hill hold functionality, especially useful for sloped roads in Indian cities. Suspension is handled by McPherson struts in the front and trailing arm suspension at the rear. This ensures a balance between comfort and affordability in compact environments. The wheels are 13-inch steel rims with low-resistance radial tires designed to reduce rolling friction and improve energy efficiency. The tires are tubeless and rated for load-bearing with 2 adults and 1 child. The wheelbase measures approximately 1,850 mm, contributing to its compact turning radius of under 4 meters. Ground clearance is maintained at 160 mm, allowing the vehicle to navigate speed bumps and potholes commonly found on Indian roads. The car's exterior dimensions are deliberately compact, 2.95 meters in length, 1.45 meters in width, and 1.55 meters in height. Despite its size, the Vayve Eva includes structural crumple zones in the front and rear to improve safety during collisions. Reinforced impact bars are embedded within the doors to meet basic crash protection standards for urban electric vehicles. The windshield and windows are made of laminated safety glass with UV filtering to reduce cabin heat. Inside, the dashboard is constructed from recycled thermoplastics and houses a 7-inch smart touchscreen infotainment system. The infotainment unit supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay via Bluetooth and USB-C connectivity. The digital cluster includes speed, battery percentage, estimated range, and solar charge indicators. HVAC is handled by a compact electric air conditioning unit designed to draw minimal current, operating efficiently without reducing overall range by more than 5 to 7%. The seats are made from molded polyurethane foam with washable fabric covers. The front seats are fixed, while the rear bench can fold flat to increase luggage space. The interior offers headroom of about 920 millimeters and legroom of 850 millimeters, adequate for city commutes. The cabin is illuminated using LED overhead lights, and the vehicle includes USB charging ports and basic ambient lighting. A 2-speaker audio system comes pre-installed, powered by a separate low-voltage auxiliary battery. Storage includes a 100-liter boot space behind the rear seat and additional compartments under the dashboard and within the door panels. There is no front trunk, as the front area houses the motor, inverter, and electrical control units. The vehicle's charge port supports standard 16-amp home socket charging, taking approximately 5 to 6 hours for a full charge. The onboard charger uses a 1.8 kilowatts AC unit that complies with Bharat EV standard AC 001. There is no fast charging capability in this model. For connectivity, the car includes an integrated 4G module that supports basic vehicle tracking and diagnostic alerts via the Vayve mobile app. The app displays real-time battery status, vehicle location, and solar charging activity. Over-the-air, OTA, software updates are supported through Wi-Fi and cellular networks. The electronic control unit, ECU, uses an ARM Cortex-M4 processor and features CAN bus integration for internal diagnostics. Lighting includes LED headlamps, tail lamps, and daytime running lights, DRLs. Indicators are LED-based with audible alerts. The central locking system includes remote keyless entry, and the vehicle also features a basic anti-theft alarm system. Rear-view mirrors are manually adjustable, and the rear includes a single reversing camera with guidelines displayed on the infotainment screen. The wiper system includes intermittent modes and rain-sensing capabilities. The Vayve Eva does not include airbags, ABS, or electronic stability control, as it is classified under the L7 category of quadricycles, not full passenger vehicles. Its design adheres to safety regulations for low-speed electric vehicles intended for intra-city use. It includes seat belts for all passengers and anchorage points, compliant with AIS 145 standards for urban micromobility. Final assembly of the Vayve Eva takes place in Pune, Maharashtra, using mostly locally sourced components. The solar panels are imported, but the battery packs and motor assemblies are assembled domestically. The body panels are injection molded in Gujarat, and the digital systems are programmed in-house by Vayve Mobility's own engineers. The company uses a modular production line allowing batch assembly of 100 units per week, with plans to scale. What impact has this project had on international markets? Let's dig deeper. The global impact of this Indian car. The unveiling of the Vayve Eva created an immediate stir across international automotive markets. Media outlets in Germany, Japan, South Korea, and the United States reported on the car's sub-$5,000 price point with visible surprise. Auto analysts in London and Tokyo flagged the vehicle as a disruptive entrant, particularly for urban mobility solutions in developing nations. Market research firms began updating EV adoption models in Southeast Asia and Africa to reflect the influence of India's low-cost platform. This shift occurred within weeks of the car's public debut, prompting many international companies to review their cost structures and entry-level product strategies. What specific steps have these international companies taken? What you're about to hear will blow your mind. Within 2 months, BYD convened an internal design review team in Shenzhen to evaluate ultra-lightweight chassis alternatives and solar integration strategies. Tesla filed a patent in early 2025 for simplified battery thermal controls designed for low-range vehicles in high-temperature regions. Meanwhile, Renault began initial discussions with component suppliers in Morocco to study the feasibility of an EV below 6,000 pounds targeted at North Africa. These moves indicate the Vayve Eva's influence on tactical planning by major industry players. The car's specifications, although modest, have reshaped what is considered technically and commercially viable at the bottom end of the EV spectrum. Importantly, the car's launch has begun to reshape how investors evaluate emerging market EV startups. Venture capital interest in South Asian and African EV projects rose significantly in the first quarter of 2025. Several seed-stage mobility ventures in Kenya, Nigeria, and Vietnam cited the Vayve Eva in their pitch decks to show demand for ultra-low-cost electric vehicles. In Indonesia, policy analysts within the Ministry of Industry referenced India's EV policy framework during a public hearing on small EV subsidies. The Indian car has become a reference point in ongoing discussions about regulatory reform and green transport investment outside traditional markets. In Latin America, local media in Argentina and Brazil highlighted the car's use of solar power as a practical solution for areas with intermittent electricity access. Urban planners in Lima and Bogotá raised questions about how such lightweight EVs could reduce reliance on fuel subsidies and expand last-mile transport coverage. Chile's Environment Ministry cited the Indian model while announcing a review of its small EV import tariffs. The vehicle's affordability has moved it beyond a market trend into a benchmark for infrastructure and logistics considerations in developing economies. The maker behind the car, Vayve Mobility, has attracted a wave of inquiries from foreign distributors and micro-mobility operators. Companies in Nairobi, Accra, and Dhaka have approached Vayve Mobility to explore CKD, completely knocked-down kit partnerships for local assembly. An early-stage licensing proposal was submitted by a Manila-based fleet management firm looking to adopt the Eva model for their electric taxi fleet. Vayve Mobility's business development team confirmed preliminary discussions with distributors in southern Europe focused on low-speed vehicles for tourism-heavy coastal towns. Internally, Vayve Mobility has ramped up its vendor audits to prepare for export compliance. Engineers are adapting the car's ECU firmware to meet UNECEWP.29 cybersecurity regulations. Efforts are underway to develop a left-hand drive variant for overseas markets. In addition, the solar charging system is being re-evaluated to meet IEC 62109-1 and 62109-2 safety standards applicable in the European Union. Vayve has applied for a provisional E-Mark certificate under UN regulation number 100 to fast-track homologation for EV systems. Supply chain dynamics are also beginning to shift. Multiple Tier 2 suppliers in India have reported receiving inquiries from buyers in Egypt, Ethiopia, and the Philippines seeking local sourcing for plastic interior components, lightweight chassis materials, and 11-kilowatt drive motors. A Bengaluru-based power electronics manufacturer confirmed a bulk order of motor controllers intended for a South African startup building small electric cargo vehicles. Vayve Eva's architecture is being referenced as an example in several of these procurement discussions due to its simplicity, low tooling costs, and modular layout. In the global consumer market, the response is still evolving. YouTube videos showing live range tests and rooftop solar output analysis of the Vayve Eva have received over 10 million combined views, many with comments from viewers in Kenya, Indonesia, Brazil, and Mexico, asking when the vehicle would become available in their country. International EV forums are now hosting technical threads, dissecting the Eva's CAN bus architecture and comparing its control system to that of more expensive micro-EVs from Japan and Europe. The interest reflects a demand not just for affordability, but for transparent, replicable design. In the United States, several urban advocacy groups have pointed to the Vayve Eva during city council discussions on zero-emission zones and downtown vehicle restrictions. The Los Angeles Clean Mobility Alliance referenced the car in a policy paper arguing for exemption clauses for ultra-light EVs that meet specific sustainability and size criteria. Meanwhile, in Canada, an academic white paper from the University of Toronto examined the Eva as a case study in low-footprint transportation systems for northern towns with limited charging infrastructure. This growing international footprint is not due to high performance or brand prestige, but because the car solves for real-world constraints in emerging markets. Its design aligns with income distribution curves, urban congestion levels, energy access limitations, and climate-specific engineering. It has become an example in global development dialogues, urban sustainability conferences, and even climate funding roundtables. Development agencies in East Africa and Southeast Asia have begun modeling pilot projects that incorporate similar vehicle parameters for public sector fleet conversions and low-cost rural mobility programs. The Vayve Eva's greatest impact may be its proof that a fundamental shift in EV thinking is possible. It demonstrates that reducing price does not automatically mean reducing functionality or abandoning safety basics. It presents a test case for balancing innovation with scalability and access. In doing so, it has forced global EV stakeholders, from corporate executives to policymakers, to re-examine their assumptions about what an electric vehicle should look like and who it should be built for. How will this change the global EV game? Can the world keep up with India's $4,999 electric car? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check out the next video on your screen. You will enjoy it.